You read the title, so you know what it is. Let's get into it. All right, guys, as you all see, we are going to start putting this engine back in good old Walker Halls's WS6. He has waited a long time for this thing to get put back together and get put back in this car. So, I mean, there ain't much to talk about. It's been a while, so still got a few things. We got to take the cradle out of the car and stuff like that, and then put this back on the cradle, made up the transmission, and get this thing back in there. So, as always, we'll probably just go ahead and switch to a time lapse and touch base with you in a little bit. All right, just like that, we got the cradle out. It was only mounted up there just so we could roll the car out. We still got to get the exhaust drive shaft out, and then we will go grab the engine with a cherry picker and be putting that engine back on the cradle. So, catch you back with you in a minute. All right, so after some wrestling with the engine, we finally got it bolts in on the mounts, and it's on the cradle now. We got some blocks underneath to chalk it up. What we're hoping for is to be able to mount the transmission up and put this up in the car as an assembly, so we don't have to fight the transmission dipstick tube once the engine is in the car. So let's get to putting the flywheel on, intake back on, and the rest of that stuff, and hopefully bolt up a transmission. All right, guys, we're back. Walker has worked on getting this intake back in on the motor. We got the power steering pump bolted up, pulley on, and dry belt on. He's got all the connectors on the back side of the motor here, and so now we're going to go grab the transmission, drag over here, try to get mounted up to the back of this thing so we can get this thing up in the car tonight. All right, so that's probably not the most conventional way of putting your engine transmission together, but hey, we got it done. It's going to make our life a whole lot easier once we get this thing back up in the car. We tried it putting the engine in and then transmission, and the transmission dipstick tube always likes to fight us. It's a lot easier to get to the bell housing bolts and stuff from this, doing it this way. So we just like doing it this way. You don't have to do it this way if you don't want to, but yeah. So from here, finish making sure the rest of the wiring harness is where it needs to be. And then I think we are to the point of rolling this thing over and slowly putting it up in the car. So Walker's excited.
Just a tad.
so we officially have an engine in his car again. So heck yeah. I think we're gonna call it a night tonight. That was our main goal, was to get the engine and transmission back into the car. So tomorrow we will be putting drive shaft, exhaust, obviously radiator and stuff like that back in it. And then hopefully tomorrow we'll be firing this thing up. So see you in the morning. All right guys, it's the next morning. Walker's here already. We are going to work on getting this wiring harness ran first thing, and then just slowly put this thing back together. So as usual, I'll probably turn on time lapse, do this kind of mundane stuff, and get this thing put together. All right guys, so we managed to get quite a bit of this back together. Walker's working on the brake line that we messed up whenever we pushed this out last time. It got tangled up in the steering shaft and knotted it all up. It ended up breaking whenever I was trying to straighten it out. So we're gonna have to put a splice connector in there, hopefully fix that up so he has brakes. But drive shaft, torque tube, still got to put the rest of the exhaust up, but she's coming along. All right, guys, so we finally got everything buttoned up. We still need to add a little bit of coolant. Walker's already added some oil. I put some brake fluid in it. We still need to bleed the brake lines, but to get this thing started, put the battery in, some coolant in it, and then it'll be the first time starting it up in a minute. So, you ready, Walker?
A little nervous.
So,
A little nervous.
Here in a few minutes, we'll be firing this thing up. All right, so first fire up.
Ready?
Oh yeah. Oh, she sounds good. Hell yeah. That is the best she has sound.
I had 65 pounds of oil pressure.
Hell yeah.
Holy.
Heck yeah.
After a year, it's finally paid off. Woo! God dang. That's crazy. I didn't see any leaks or anything like that, so. Ground is dry.
Heck yeah. Well,
So, we'll go ahead and cut it off there, and I'll head to the outro. See you then.
all right, guys, that's going to be it for this video. Be sure to follow me and Walker on our Instagrams. They'll be down in the description. I'll probably have a link to his video. He's going to do a video on this install and everything as well. So until next time.